Good afternoon, and thank you all for being here. A much anticipated game between NDSU and UND will be played on September 19th, 2015, and again September 7th, 2019 in the Fargo Dome. We have very little flexibility in our schedule, except for certain year where 12 games will be played. This is why we are able to schedule a game in 2019. Because most of the time, people ask, why are we waiting 2019? We didn't have any flexibility. And this is the only time that we have some flexibility in our schedule. This is an agreement that has been discussed for several years under the guidance of our former athletic director, Gene Taylor. Gene worked very hard to find a solution that would be agreeable to both the schools. I'm very happy that Gene's offer has come to fruition. So this is not something that Prakash Mathi just came in and all of a sudden decided, okay, we are going to do this, play this game. So in fact, since 2010, Gene has been working with the AD up at UND. There are many factors that go into scheduling. My role has been to confirm many of the details surrounding the two-game proposal offered to UND. It was important for us to find a sixth game for next year, and adding a game in 2019 gives us a head start on what will be a 12-game season. Again, as I explained earlier, we were trying to find that 12-game series, and that will happen in 2019. That is the reason why we have scheduled the second game in 2019. We don't know what the future holds for us at this point. This is scheduled as a two-game series. We also know that our players and fans hunger for the FBS games. And that's what the demand is for us, at least for NDSU. Speaking for the NDSU, that's where we try to fill our games with FBS games. We try hard to do that. But at this point, we needed some finality, so we could all move forward with our future, with the future scheduling, and put this to rest. And that is the reason why we schedule this game, and so that we can move forward. At this time, let me turn it over to Coach Kleiman for his comments.
Thanks, Prakash. Well, for starters, I think it's a great game for the state of North Dakota, and a great game for our fans, especially the fact that they get another home game next year. And I'm just 30 minutes outside of practice. We just finished off the practice field, so I'm kind of in a hurry to get here. But we also are 8 days away from playing Iowa State, and that's kind of where our focus is at right now. But I think it's a great game for the state.
I would say in the last year, the talks really heated up a little bit. And then once we started to look out year by year, what games we had scheduled. Once we scheduled Weber State, and Weber State helped us out a lot this year. We decided late that we wanted a 12th game. They helped us out. We got a 12th game with them this year. Then we got a home-and-home with Montana, home-and-home with Eastern Washington. So that impacted the discussions with UND and this two-game contract. But there were no dates impacted by those other home-and-homes that we were discussing with UND. But the overall process is impacted by this.
When did you get a sense that this was wrapped up?
I would say in the last 4 or 5 days would be when it got wrapped up.
Final details that tipped it to wrap it up?
Well, I think for us, the two games being in Fargo was a big deal. Like I mentioned, we have a home-and-home with Montana, a home-and-home with Eastern Washington. Too many home-and-homes really pile up the road commitments in later years. It was mandatory for us to have two games in Fargo as part of this contract.
Chris, did you anticipate this being the biggest non-conference home game in your tenure at NDSU?
It's hard for me to answer that, Jamal. Talk to me next year. Right now, I mean, it's timing for me is I've got 18 seniors in there that are getting ready to play Iowa State, and that's where our focus is at.
For your North Dakota natives on this team, though, they know that this has got to be a big deal for them today.
I would think so. Yeah, if growing up and being in the state, I would believe that they would think it'd be a big deal. We haven't gotten a chance to discuss it as a team because we just got off the practice field.